Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you the books that I'm planning to read for Gilmoreathon 2020. So, Gilmoreathon is a Gilmore Girls centered readathon that is taking place from November 15th to the 22nd, I believe. It is hosted by 4 different booktubers. I will link their channels as well as announcement videos down below with all of the information. And this is the second year that Gilmoreathon has happened. And so last year I participated as well. This year I'm participating in a little bit of a different way. Last year they had 7 different prompts to choose from. This year they have the same 7 prompts, or they have a bingo board that you can use kind of to get some prompts off of. And that is the way that I am planning on participating this year. So I have chosen, because the bingo board, I will put a little image up here, but the bingo board is a 5x5 square and it's a 2-week long readathon. So there's no possible way that I'm going to be able to do all of them. So what I did is I just chose 1 row column to do, and I'm planning on doing it that way. So the column that I chose is the center column. And so the prompts for that column are a book set in a private school, a book with a character that comes from a wealthy family, the free space, a 5-star read, and a book where snow is mentioned. And so, yeah, I am really excited about the books that I chose to complete these prompts. And I think that this is going to be a really fun 2 weeks of reading. So without further ado, the books that I have chosen to complete these 4 different prompts, the first one is a book that is set in a private school. This one, I am actually going to try to read Amy Popples, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I have no idea. Small Admissions. Now, this I don't think is quite what the intention was when it says a book set in a private school, because this is set in a prestigious preschool. It is about a girl who has gone through a recent breakup, and she basically is trying to get her life back on track, and she gets a job interview which leads her to the position as the admissions to a position in the admissions department at the revered Hudson Day School. And so she is going through all of the different interviews with all the kids on trying to decide who's going to get into the school and who isn't. And it just sounds hilarious. This has been on my TBR for a really, really long time, 8 years at least. And so I really, really want to get this read. So that is my selection for that prompt. The next prompt is to read a book where the character comes from a wealthy family. So in true Amanda fashion, I have to throw some middle grade in here because I just have to. So the book that I chose for this prompt is a middle grade, and I'm going to be reading the second book in the Artemis Fowl series, The Arctic Incident. This has been on a previous, I think, TBR this year as well, and I never got around to it. But in this book, this is the second book that follows Artemis Fowl, who comes from an insanely wealthy family. So it fits the prompt. He is like a little evil genius mastermind, and in the first book it follows him trying to steal some leprechaun gold, and so this is the second book, and I'm excited to continue in that series. All right, the third prompt, well, then we get the free space. For the free space, I'm actually going to read a book. So I decided to fill in a book for this prompt, this space. And for this space, I am going to read a book that I found when doing a Google search on books to read if you like Gilmore Girls. So a long time ago, like a year ago probably, when I was looking up books to read for the previous Gilmoreathon, I did a Google search for books to read if you like Gilmore Girls, and because I love Gilmore Girls, and this book came up. And then earlier this year, Krista, my friend from Books and Jams, was getting rid of this book, and so I nabbed it from her. And so I would like to read The Readers of Broken Wheel recommend. So this is a book that it takes place in Iowa. And it follows a woman who is from Sweden, and she travels to this small town in Iowa to meet her book-loving pen pal. But when she arrives, it's she finds that her pen pal has died and the funeral guests are like just leaving, it says in the summary. And so she decides to stay in this town and open up a bookshop. And I think, yes, open a bookshop. So this sounds fantastic. I don't know. I know Krista got rid of it, so it was not her favorite, but I don't know. We'll see. But I would like to get this one read during those 2 weeks for my free space option. All right, the next prompt is to read a 5-star book. And so they said for this prompt to read like a 5-star prediction, one that you think you're going to give 5 stars. So I'm going to put a book on here that I have put on many TBRs, that I have talked about many times, because I know I'm going to love it. But have I yet picked it up and read it? No, I have not. So here we go. Wolf Hollow, another middle grade by Lauren Woke. It's a historical fiction that takes place between World War I and World War II. It takes place, I think, in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania. And it is about this girl who basically runs into an issue with a bully. And I need to get this read. Like, I need to read this. I know I'm going to love it. I can already tell from the first few chapters that I'm just going to absolutely adore it. I started reading it in February and then stopped because I'd gotten it from the library and I wanted to buy it so that I could annotate it while I was reading it because I was loving it that much. And then I never picked it back up once I actually bought it. So this is my pick for 5-star prediction. And we were really, really hoping it's actually going to get read this month. So the last prompt is to read a book where snow is mentioned. And so for this, I'm actually going to read a thriller. Who even am I? I do not know. I don't read thrillers, but I have been wanting to pick up No Exit, and I cannot remember the author's name now that I'm saying this. But it is a thriller that is about a woman who is going to visit, I think, her mom, and she stops at a rest stop because there's this blizzard and they end up getting snowed in at this rest stop. And when she goes back out to her car to get something, she notices in the car next to her that there is a child in a cage. And she kind of, what comes of that? Somebody at the rest stop is the owner of the car who has put this child in a cage. And so, yeah, I've heard it's fantastic. It obviously has to do with snow, so it fits the prompt. And yeah, I'm thinking that that'll be a fun one to read as well. So I do not own that one though. I have to get it from the library. So those are my picks for Gilmoreathon 2020. If you are participating in this readathon, I would love to hear what some of your picks are. How are you participating in the readathon? Definitely go check out the channels of the hosts of the readathon as well. And yeah, other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.